Hello, it's Rob at Small Urban Garden UK, and it's March tomorrow, and it's time to get planting some seeds. And my plan for this year is to grow them out in the cold frame. I've got my tomatoes growing upstairs on the windowsill, and they've sprouted nicely. But last year, when I started my seeds early in about February, they didn't do so well. There wasn't a great deal of light because of the short day length that we've got here in the UK, and also because I haven't got a lot of windowsill space. They got quite leggy because they didn't get the sun they need. So the approach I'm taking this year is to do it a little bit later, beginning of March. I'm going to put them in a cold frame. They'll keep any freezing conditions that we do have off of them, and hopefully they'll grow stronger, less leggy, and we'll get better plants overall. But I've been using cold frame this winter to protect plants in here. The main plant that we've been protecting is this Jasmine. I've also got some Palmer indica that we've been kindly given down here, and some trailing begonias, which I've not had a chance to plant up yet. So what I need to do is I need to move those out today. I'm going to put the shelves that I took out in the winter back into the cold frame, and then this is the shadiest position of the garden, and I put the cold frame here because it's out of the frost, close to the house, where a bit of the central heating will get out through the walls, keep everything warm. I've had the olive tree over there. It's done nicely over there in the winter. It's been a very mild winter. Had a hell of a lot of rain, but we have had a couple of quite hard frosts. So it's been a good idea to protect everything. You can see there from the olive tree that it is okay over here. But I think what we'll do is we'll take out the Jasmine, we'll protect it, and then we'll move this cold frame into the sunnier position, which is over on the corner of the decking, and that will get the majority of the sun as it comes up in the east, tracks over the top of the house. That's where we get the most of the sun for the most of the day, and that should give my seeds the best chance to get going. So I'm going to start that, and then we'll see how we get on and protect the Jasmine and go from there. Okay, so we've moved the cold frame out of the way, but the next thing I need to do is find a new home for the Jasmine here, especially since we have had a very cold end of February and beginning of March. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the olive tree, which has done quite well and doesn't seem to mind the cold so much as long as its roots being protected with the bubble wrap and it's close to the house. As long as it doesn't get too much water on the roots, I think it doesn't mind the cold so much. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this guy over towards the window, and it should also look quite nice next to the window. And I do that, just give him a little turn, and you can see we've got the bubble wrap here. It's just been protecting the roots from too much rain and the worst of the cold. And we can tidy him up in a second. But then also, I've got the Jasmine here, and it's done quite well in the cold frame. Had a little bit of dieback, I think, of the older growth here, which I think is probably to be expected. But you do have to remember to water these even in the winter when they're in the cold frame, and I did forget earlier on. But as you can see, there's plenty of new growth. There's even some flowers coming through already. And I had the pot wrapped in a bin liner. The roots are all there. I did sink it into the ground last year, and what happened was some of the roots sort of overgrown into the soil, so there's some exposed. So I might put it on into a slightly bigger pot, and then maybe I'll sink it into the ground again or not. I'm not sure. But what I do have is a little bit of bubble wrap, and I'll pop that there. And we'll just bring that up and put the bin liner back on. And we'll bring that close and tight to the roots. Alright, that's okay. And then I've got one of these fleece protectors. And I'm pretty sure we might have a frost tonight. You could put it on just when you think the frost's coming, but I think we will be having the frost. So I'm going to drape it over. And I do prefer to keep it in the cold frame, but with having a small garden, sometimes you've got to make compromises and choices, and I need to get my seeds going for the year, otherwise we'll have no flowers for the garden borders. So he's done well in the winter, but I think now as we head into spring, I'll just keep him in the very corner there, which is the most protected part of the house against the two walls. It is quite shady, but we need not worry about that for now, and quite soon we'll be ready to pop him back in his place where he can get some sun and flowers. And I do love the beautiful scent that comes from the jasmine. And these fleeces come with a little tie to tie it down. Don't know how useful that's really going to be, but we'll give it a go. And then the next job will be to find a new home for the cold frame. So I'm just going to tidy up here a little bit, and then we'll sort out the cold frame, and we'll be ready to get some seeds planted soon. Move the cold frame over into the sunny position here, and the sun will come up in the morning over on that side of the garden. At this time of the year it's still tracking a little bit around the back of the house, but as the days get longer it will come over the top. It should give the maximum amount of light we've got to the cold frame, which should be best for the seeds. Inside I've obviously moved the jasmine. I've got the indica palms still in there. I've got a chocolate cosmos that's in a pot, which I'll keep on the bottom shelf as well. I've got the trailing begonias, which I need to find a home for. I'm excited about growing those this year. Also, I've got a vine, which I think what I'll do with that is pop fleece on it and pop it over next to the jasmine. It might be alright. I'm not an expert at growing vines, so I think I'll just protect it and play it safe and see what happens. But that's it. We're all ready now to get on with some seeds, and that's what I'll be doing next time that I see you. Take care. See you later.